Welcome to this explainer on how to seamlessly pay your St. Lucie County property tax online. Look, if you want to skip the endless lines, totally bypass the unreliability of traditional mail, and actually keep more money in your pocket with early payment discounts, well, you're in the exact right place. We're going to break down the most efficient, secure, and cost-effective way to handle this annual chore.
Let's be real for a second. Absolutely nobody likes paying taxes. But you know what's even worse than paying them? Getting slammed with hefty late fees or just entirely missing out on free money because you didn't grab those early payment discounts. Paying by mail, it's slow, it's stressful, and paying in person just eats up your busy day. So let's fix that right now by moving your payment process entirely online. You can literally secure your homeowner status right from your living room, maybe even in your pajamas.
Okay, let's dive into our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the property tax timeline, how to access the payment portal, verifying your tax details, choosing your payment method, troubleshooting and support, and wrap up with a summary of your final steps.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the property tax timeline. Before we even think about logging onto a website, we really need to understand the life cycle of your tax bill. Here in Florida, exactly when you pay is just as important as how you pay. Tax bills usually hit the mail around November 1st, and here is the kicker. If you pay in November, you get a super generous 4% discount off your total bill. That is huge. But that discount regresses every single month. It drops to 3% in December, 2% in January, and 1% in February. By the time March rolls around, the discount is completely gone, zero, and your total liability is due in full by March 31st. So, paying online early, that's hands down the absolute best way to guarantee you lock in that maximum 4% savings.
So what happens if you actually miss that March 31st deadline? Well, it's not pretty. If your taxes aren't paid by that date, they become officially delinquent on April 1st. And that immediately triggers a mandatory 3% minimum interest charge, plus advertising fees. Worse yet, if you just leave it unpaid, you're literally risking a tax certificate sale on your property by June 1st. Nobody wants that, right? Staying on top of this online ensures you absolutely never fall into this penalty zone.
Moving right along to Section 2, accessing the payment portal. Now that we know the high financial stakes and exactly when to pay, you need to actually get to the right place. You've got to access the St. Lucie County Tax Collector's secure processing site directly through their authorized web address. You can just type in stlucie.county-taxes.com directly into your browser. This right here is the official, secure gateway for managing your property taxes in the county, so honestly, it's a fantastic idea to just go ahead and bookmark this page right now.
Once you actually land on the portal, you'll need to locate your specific property, and the system makes this incredibly easy. You don't even need to create some complex, crazy login just to view and pay your bill. You can effortlessly search for your property's tax account using any one of 4 simple details: the property owner's name, the physical parcel ID, your specific account number, or the folio number. Just pop one of those into the search bar and boom, your property record will pop right up.
Next up, Section 3, verifying your tax details.
Okay, so finding your property is just step 1. We really must ensure the information the system pulls up is perfectly accurate before any of your hard-earned money actually changes hands. I highly recommend taking a quick moment to cross-reference the digital details on your screen against your physical tax notice or your property deed. Just check that the owner's name is spelled right, the mailing address matches up perfectly, and that there aren't any weird, unexpected outstanding balances from previous years. Taking a few seconds to verify that all your personal and property information matches exactly, it just gives you complete peace of mind before you finally hit that payment button.
Which brings us to Section 4, choosing your payment method. All right, you've found your property, you've verified the details, now it's time for the actual transaction phase. And honestly, this is where paying online requires just a little bit of strategy. When paying online, you basically have 2 main options, and there is a massive, and I mean massive, contrast in fees here. First, you can use an e-check. This links directly to your bank account using your routing and account numbers, and it carries a practically negligible flat fee of just 50 cents. On the flip side, paying by credit card tacks on a 2.5% surcharge on the entire total amount. Think about it. When you're dealing with a property tax bill in the thousands of dollars, that 2.5% can easily snowball into a huge, unnecessary fee. It's actually really important to note that these fees aren't just some arbitrary markup by the county trying to make an extra buck. They go straight to third-party processors. By law, the tax collector's office doesn't keep a single dime of it. And this is exactly why utilizing the e-check option is the ultimate hack for saving money here. For just 50 cents, you get the absolute convenience of paying instantly online, and you do it without wiping out the savings you just gained from that awesome November 4% discount.
Let's jump into Section 5, Troubleshooting and Support.
Look, even with a fantastic online system, technology can occasionally hiccup. Or maybe you just have a really specific question about your assessment. You need to know exactly who to contact if things go sideways. If you run into website errors, payment processing issues, or just have a complex question, the St. Lucie County Tax Collector is super accessible. You can call their direct phone support at 772-462-1650 or simply email them at taxcollector@tslc.com. And of course, if you're someone who really prefers a face-to-face interaction, they do operate 3 physical branch locations, in Fort Pierce, out on Walton Road, and over in Tradition.
But a quick heads up, should you need to resolve an issue in person, please keep their structured daily schedule in mind. From 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., they operate by appointment only. They only accept walk-ins later in the afternoon between 2:30 p.m. and 5 p.m. Knowing this little detail ahead of time ensures you aren't frustrated or turned away at the door if you do decide to head in.
Finally, we arrive at Section 6, Summary and Final Steps.
We're in the home stretch now. Let's wrap up this explainer with the absolute must-remember takeaways to keep your homeowner status secure and your wallet very happy this tax season. First up, pay as early as possible in November to lock in that sweet maximum 4% discount. Second, absolutely at all costs, avoid crossing that April 1st delinquency deadline. Third, skip the credit card and definitely use the e-check option to reduce your processing fees to a tiny 50 cents. And finally, when you hit submit, always save a digital PDF or print a physical receipt of your confirmation screen. By leveraging the online portal this way, you completely avoid the unreliability of the Postal Service and instantly secure a verifiable receipt for your personal records.
Now, just a quick note before we finish up here. While this explainer provides a really comprehensive guide based on the current St. Lucie County processes, always remember the procedures and websites can and do periodically update. You should always consult the property appraiser's office or your own trusted financial advisor for specific, personalized counsel regarding your unique tax situation.
And there you have it, folks. By jumping online, you're saving time, you're ditching the paper check, and most importantly, you're keeping more of your hard-earned money right in your own pocket. So the only question left to answer is this. With hundreds of dollars in discounts and fees on the line, are you really going to leave free money on the table this tax season?